Hey, welcome back to Time Value Videos. I'm going to be continuing the series here with Intro to Time Value of Money, and we're going to keep going with single cash flow payments. In this case, we're going to make it a little bit more complex. We're going to have multiple cash flows, but we're going to use the single cash flow formulas to be able to solve these problems. And so I'm going to have the question show up on the screen so while I read it, that way you can kind of see it. It says, what is the value of this missing cash flow? And we have the present value of all of the cash flows together is $7,950 if we discount at 8.1%. And so I'm going to write it up here. We have year one, we have cash flow is $1,550. Year two, we don't know, right? Year three, we have $2,150. In year four, we have $2,750. Oops, I left it up to zero. $2,750. So these are our four cash flows, well, our three and then an unknown one. And we want to figure out if the present value of all of them is equal to 79. I'm going to lower that so you can see it. The present value for all of them is equal to 79.50, right? What are we going, or what is this missing cash flow right here? How do we figure that out? Well, the idea of the present value of all of the cash flows is actually the sum of all of the present values of the individual cash flows. So whenever we're trying to value any kind of asset, we're looking at the present value of all of its cash flows. And so we take each one individually, discount them back, right? When you find the present value, that's called discounting. So we're going to discount these back to the starting time. And when we do that, we can add them all up and we can figure out what it is that we're missing. So let's start with the first one, because that's easiest. And so to discount 1550 back, I'm going to actually put over here, our R in this case is 8.1%. No, my handwriting's not that good, sorry. I'll fix that one there. 8.1, there we go. 8.1% is our R. And so if we discount 1550 back, one period, right, because we're in the first year, so actually what we can do, let's discount everything back to the period 0. And that'll be good. So we take 1550 divided by 1 plus r to the t, right? So 8.1% is 0.081 because you just moved the decimal over. So I'm just going to simplify that. Instead of adding 8.1, I'm just going to do 1.081, right? 1550 divided by 1.081, and it's to the first power, right? Well, anything to the first power just stays itself, so we can get rid of that. And then our present value of the first cash flow will be 33.86. So that's our first cash flow. So I'm going to put it over here. I'm going to do like this. There we go. So we're trying to figure out the cash flows here, and we'll add them up. So 1433.86 goes here. 1433.86. And then we'll do the next one. So I'm going to erase these. And all of these will be discounted back. We don't know what this one is, so we'll leave it blank for right now. And we'll do the next one, 2150. So 2150 divided by 1.081 to the power of, in this case, we're year 3 and we're trying to get them back to 0. So this one will be discounted to the first power. This one will be discounted to the second power, the one that we don't know. The third one will be discounted to the third power, first, second, third power. So we take the third power here, and that equals 1702.01. You might not be able to see that 1 at the end. 0.01. There we go. And so I'm just going to take that number, I'm going to put it back here, and we'll say 1702.01. Great. And then we do the same thing for cash flow 4. So I'll go ahead and erase this and do 2750 divided by 1.081 to the power of 4 equals, and in this it's 2013.86, and we'll do the same thing here, 2013.86. Great, so that's our cash flow there. And now I'm going to erase these one more time. Okay. So now we have the first, third, and fourth cash flows, but we're still missing the second one. We don't know what this is. Put a question mark there too. But we know that in time 0, all of these have those values. So if I add up this, this, and this, right, I add up these three cash flows together, I will get, let's see, 5149.73, and I rounded there, it's 728 and some change, but 73, and we know that overall we're supposed to be getting 7950. So I'm going to take that down here, I'm going to subtract these. So if I take 7950 minus 5149.73, then I will get 2800.272. Now, that's not my answer, but that is what the present value of my answer is, right? Because this is if I were to discount everything back. So if I discounted this question mark back to 0 also, I would get 2800.272. Oh, you couldn't see that writing, but if I discounted that back to 0, that's what I would get. I would get this 28,272. Well, I need to future value this back to the year 2 so that it will be equal to what that cash flow would be in that time frame. So I'm going to go ahead and erase this down here, and we're going to do that math real quick. So we have 28, sorry, we have 2800.27, we'll just do that, 0.27, times, I'm writing crooked here, I'm going to erase that and fix that real quick, 2800.27 times, and we're still growing, or still moving everything by 8.1%, so times 1.081, and in this case we're moving from 0 to 1 to 2, so that's 2 years, and that will come out to be 3,272.29, and I rounded again, but that is our final answer. And so this is the cash flow that belongs where that question mark is. So, and to recap, all we did was we took each of these cash flows, the three that we knew, we discounted them back to year 0, because you have a year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4, we need to get all of them back to being year 0, and so we just divide by the rate, 1 plus the rate to the power of time, whichever time frame that it's in. Then that gets us our overall present value of 5,149. We subtracted that from 7,950, we got 2,800, and then 2,800 future value to year 2, because 2,800 is the value in year 0. We future value it to year 2, and we get 3,272.29. So that's our final answer. If you have any questions, feel free to comment below, and hopefully that helps for some of your time value of money problems. Again, this series is going to be helping with maybe some finance students or people who need to know about the time value of money, and so we're going to get progressively more complex as we go. Eventually we get into bond valuations and maybe some duration formulas and those kinds of things. But for right now we're doing single payments, single cash flows. But yeah, so if you have any questions, feel free to comment below, and thanks for watching.